Today we have a hand from one of my favorite video bloggers, Brad Owen, where he gets the 9-8 of spades. I guess that's what this is. Let's get right to it.
I've got 9-8 of spades under the gun. I raised to 30. The big blind is the only customer. She calls for 20 more with a short stack. The flop comes queen 7-4 with 2 spades. We've got a flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. The opponent checks. I bet 40 is a semi-bluff. She's gonna make it harder for me than that, just to be consistent with other women who have come and gone in my life. She calls. I'm lucky she didn't take my cat. The turn is the 8 of clubs.
Slow down, slow down. No one's trying to take your cat at the poker table. All right. In this hand, so far, we raise it up, get called. We continuation with the flush draw. So far, so good. Some people worry about getting check raised in this scenario with the 9-high flush draw, but if you do get check raised, you can probably still call. So go ahead and put your money in the pot. If your opponent folds anything, that is fantastic. We get middle pair on the turn. Fine. Let's just get to the showdown now.
We make a pair. Big blind checks. I have showdown value, so I no longer need to semi-bluff. I also get the feeling that my opponent is strong. I check back to make sure I see a river. It's the jack of hearts. We're downgraded to third pair. Big blind bets 120. My New Year's resolution is to not hero call as much. I fold without much thought.
It's a quick hand. I think this is a nice, easy spot to let it go. It's annoying whenever your opponent puts out this bet because sure, they could be bluffing, but you kind of block a lot of the bluffs. So I'm okay with folding.
An interesting hand, not because the pot was that large, but mostly because I semi-bluffed you at the start of it. I almost deleted the video thinking that it wouldn't make the vlog. While doing so, I realized that I actually had 10-9 of spades. I misremembered my hand and folded the absolute nuts. I backdoored a straight, had the opponent betting into me. In 18 years of poker, I can't remember a single other time that I folded the nuts, especially using both cards. I've been working as hard as I can lately, playing and editing, plus it's extremely distracting to film and write notes about previous hands while playing. All that together caused a giant mistake for me. It cost me at least $265, probably more. Certainly had my fair share of embarrassing moments on the vlog. That one is right up there with the best of them.
No excuses, no excuses. Whenever you screw up, accept it, realize I blundered, figure out why you blundered, and then don't do it again. I realize this must have been an incredibly painful thing for Brad to have later found out on his phone. What I want to know is, assuming you're tired, you're getting towards the end of the session, when do you actually quit? What actually makes you decide when it's time to be done with this poker session so I don't accidentally fold the nuts? Take a second, pause the video, and write what you do to end your sessions in the comment section below. And don't just say I'll leave whenever I lose all my money. If you leave every time you lose all your money, it's not going to work out for you. All right, did you do it? Good. I think, in general, you should leave way before you actually start to get overly fatigued. Back when I used to play 5-10 no limit at Bellagio every day, I would play from noon until midnight. Nice 12-hour session. Very rarely did I play much later, and only when the game was extremely good, because I realized that when I get tired, I stop enjoying myself and poker stops becoming fun. Not that that's necessarily a reason to quit, but I knew I wanted to wake up and do it again the next day. I would play literally 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. So that's it. That's when I would quit. I would quit whenever time was up. I would play until midnight, I'd pack it up, and I'd come back the next day. I realized that Brad was probably very sad about this hand. I realized this is very embarrassing. And I'm actually very proud of him for sharing this with all of you, because this is something that almost no one in the world will show you except for Brad. So I appreciate that a lot. And I love his video blog. Make sure you check it out. I will say, there have been multiple times on televised games where people have folded the nuts, or at least the winning hand. One player, I'm not going to name him, lost the World Poker Tour Player of the Year. He had to move up one payout spot to get Player of the Year, but instead, he had the nuts on the river. His opponent bet. I think he called. The opponent turned up their hand, and then he mucked his cards. Another time, Phil Ivey, the great Phil Ivey, folded the winning hand at the showdown. Just recently, in I think it was a World Series circuit event, somebody tabled their hands on the river. Both players did, maybe. The dealer pushed the pot to the wrong person, and no one even noticed. This kind of stuff happens. You have to pay attention. I don't think I've ever mucked the winning hand. Am I 100% sure? No. The question is, how sure am I? Would I bet 10 to 1 that I've, or am I 90% sure that I've ever not mucked the winning hand? I don't know. It's close. You know what I want you to do? I want you to be honest and write in the comment section below if you think you've ever actually mucked the winning hand without knowing it. Ooh, that would be painful. I wonder how much money I've lost in my life. I don't know. That's going to be it for today. Huge thanks to Poker News for hosting this video. Thanks to Brad for sharing this miserably painful experience with all of us. Make sure you look at your cards. I mean, I know that's not that high-level poker strategy, but make sure you look at your cards and make sure you know your cards and make sure you don't fold the nuts. I actually have a video discussing when to leave the poker table because that's actually a skill a lot of people do not have. So make sure you check out that video. Good luck in your games, have fun, and when you make the nuts, don't fold.